Bitcoin breaks 109,000 today, reaching another all-time high, which when that happens, you know we're gonna go a little bit higher. So prepare for what's next. I think the current levels that we're looking at right now is at 112,000 to 114,000, possibly all the way up to 18 to 20,000. So just keep an eye on the charts. The next couple of days could be pushing up to those price levels. We just are on the precipice of the golden cross, which what happens is the 50-day moving average for Bitcoin's price is moving higher than the 200-day moving average, which is awesome because that just brings up the long-term average higher when the 50-week moving average goes up. So yeah, this typically indicates a really good parabolic move after this. The stablecoin bill was passed, so we got 66 votes going, saying yes, that they want this, they need this. It's inevitable. If they don't do this now, then they're going to be missing out to other countries, because everybody is scooping up thousands and thousands of Bitcoin a day, which, because of the halving, there's only 450 mined every day. So they're going to push the price up till everybody sells their Bitcoin, and all the institutions and banks are going to be scrambling. Guys, so if you haven't yet, and you want to buy Bitcoin, you can go to platforms like mycrypto.com or Coinbase. I personally have a mycrypto.com account. Coinbase is a good company because BlackRock uses them to custody a lot of their Bitcoin, and they just got inducted into the S&P 500, so they're even in the stock market. So, you know, people's 401ks are going to have a little bit of Coinbase share in their portfolio now. So definitely they're fast to set up, add an account, and you can start daily cost averaging into Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. You can buy, you know, $10 every day. But if you do that now, you know, the power of compounding and daily cost averaging is going to be really impactful in the long run, because every year, at a minimum, Bitcoin is doing like a 29% return annually. So I'm not a financial advisor, but you know, from my past experience that we've been buying for the last 3 or 4 years, and we have seen a growth. So even with the 80% dips, you know, by the end of the year, it's always produced for us. So anyways, the Bitcoin conference is happening next week. 3-day conference starting on Tuesday, the 27th, 28th, and 29th in Vegas. There's going to be big announcements, so look out for that. Stay tuned. I'm sure there's going to be Bitcoin pumps all next week because of the news of probably major corporations going out and investing in the strategy for their company's reserves to pump up their stock and to back their company's assets with Bitcoin. And you know, the stablecoin bill, because that's passed, Tether has been minting coins, so people are going to be buying a bunch of Tether to put into stable coins. So and the other thing that's great is that, you know, there's not going to be a CBDC, so it's not going to be a centralized controlled coin that the government is rolling out. It's going to be managed by outside companies like Tether or other companies that produce stable coins. So every coin out there that is a stable coin is backed 1-to-1 by a dollar, a fiat dollar. So that's good. So they can't, shut your account or take your CBDCs and turn them off. It's not going to be centralized. It's all DeFi, which is great. So it gives you security with what you do with your money. But anyways, watch some of these videos that we got here. It looks like Bitcoin is still going to be going up for the next few months. So check out this other one with the M2 money supply. Bitcoin is following it neck to neck. So looks like there's going to be a huge pump by the end of May. May cut back a little bit going into June, but by the end of June, we're going to have another huge parabolic run. And once those runs happen, people like to diversify their money and their profits into some of the lower altcoins. So you might want to look into some of the US-based backed altcoins like Cardano, XRP, Solana, Ethereum is another one that BlackRock is heavy buying on. So hope this helps. If you have any questions, comment down below. If you like these videos and want to learn more about Bitcoin and crypto, please subscribe and send me some messages. Peace.
The U.S. Senate has just moved forward with the Genius stablecoin bill in a close vote, 66 yeas to 32 nays.
We weren't sure. For a minute there, I thought it was, dead on arrival. 16 Democrats flipped after ethics standards for government employees and limits for tech companies issuing stablecoins were included in the bill. Democrat Senator Mark Warner, one of the 16 to flip, said that the latest bill is not perfect, but the U.S. cannot afford to keep standing on the sidelines.
And while this was not the official passing, this was a yay on the motion to invoke cloture, on the motion to proceed the consideration of the Genius bill.
This now legislation moves to the Senate floor for debate, with the final vote happening as early as Friday.
The anticipation of this, the final passage, which could get voted into law as early as Friday, has huge implications as to what comes next.
And this bill is relatively clean. It's a groundbreaker for crypto, because once we get this passed, this is not Bitcoin. This is just digital payment systems, but it does assure us that the U.S. dollar becomes the de facto currency around the world for price discovery on commodities.
Bitcoin formed all-time highs back here at $109, actually $110,000 here on weeks, and right now Bitcoin is testing this almost. We're at 108 approximately, and I personally think after such a long downtrend here, coming back up here, I think it's very unlikely that we're going to go back down like this now. At this point, we're here to test it. We might see one last rejection like this, like a fake out to the downside before we break up. But I believe that in the next, probably this week, I think we break through. But if we don't break through this week, then I would say next week we are breaking through all-time highs. And that's why I opened up all of my long positions. So for example, here over on weeks, I have this position open. And the good thing with weeks is that it's available even in the land of the not so free. So if you are in that country or at any other country where you're restricted from Bybit and other big exchanges, weeks is available. Here you can see my trade, and it was a pretty nice trade. I opened it up exactly at the bottom, and remember I made a video telling you guys this is the bottom because of the bullish divergence and this double bottom that was forming right there. That's why I opened up my position. It's now 400% in profits. That's $150,000 in profits, which is not bad. I would say not bad at all. Very happy about that one. We also opened up an Ethereum position, got now $60,000 on that one as well, so not bad at all. And going over to Coinflare, I do have a lot of positions here that I've been telling you guys about. First and foremost, we have Bitcoin, of course, a $1.4 million position, made $160,000. And let's talk about the target here. So first of all, remember here, we perfectly predicted this one. I told you guys Bitcoin is going to go to 100K after we break out, after the election. That happened exactly as predicted. That's why I personally made like $5 to $10 million, $5 million only from altcoins, and then like 5 million from Bitcoin. on my trades, and in total, like let's say 10 million approximately there. And now we're making already millions of dollars, because over on Bybit I also have a big position with the almost $2 million profits. Now, what is the target out of this next bull flag? Well, I've shown you before, and right, so far so good, right? I've been telling you this for many weeks. You can see that we're now breaking out exactly as predicted, and the target is $130,000, and I believe it's going to happen within the next 1 or 2 months. I know I said it a little bit earlier and I was wrong on the timing. Like I think somewhere here we talked about how it can go up, but then we actually broke down here. I was wrong on that one, but now personally I am very, very confident that we're about to break towards the upside. Because remember, here we broke this high and then had a massive run. Now we're going to be breaking this high and we're going to be running.